Hello, everybody. It's me, David. I'm 43 years old, newly diagnosed with CML leukemia, and this is a video about supplements and taking imatinib, 400 milligram. One of the things I learned since my diagnosis was that a lot of supplements can mess with your white blood cells, make some of the numbers go up or down. Uh, I know my B12 was really, really high. My vitamin D was low. Um, uh, and so I had a lot of excess energy when I first got diagnosed, and I didn't know why. But I think it had something to do with my vitamin B12 levels. Plus, I ate a lot of fish and red meat, and that made it even worse. But somehow the disease uses the B12. And so I was also using it in my supplements, my multivitamins. So the first thing to go, before I even started the med, or before, or even after the med, is my multivitamin, which is this Intramax. They don't want you to have that. So my pharmacist said no. Number two was my NMN. It's for cellular generation. Apparently, David Sinclair said if you have cancer or tumors or anything, you don't want to take or supplement with nicomycin. So definitely a no. Then my pharmacist said that they don't want me taking crazy amounts of anything because it competes with the imatinib for the same liver enzymes. But because there's, a lot of supplements out there that aren't FDA approved, there's not a lot of studies or information to know exactly what those supplements use. And so it's best just to stay away from most supplements. So my kind organic gummy multivitamins, occasionally I can take one of these, like a half dose. So four gummies is a full dose, and nothing crazy, 200%, 300% your daily intake. But if you just take one instead of all four, you can get some nutrition without having too much of a problem. These cherry capsules, tart cherry, again, they're 1,000 milligrams. I'm not sure how that translates into actual food, but I would say no for now. I'm not taking it, or an occasional. I do take this CoQ10, and there is some research on that, and he said that I could have that. So 100 milligrams, I do that once daily. Krill oil, I do that. Not every day. Sometimes I eat fish. I don't really need omega-3s. If I've eaten a lot of omega-6s and I don't feel like I've gotten enough omega-3s, typically when you eat junk food or processed foods or whatever, then I supplement with some krill oil, but not a daily thing needed. Here I have colloidal silver. Apparently with CML, you're going to heal slower. You're going to be more prone to infection, possibly, depending on where your white blood cells are at and your red blood cells and your platelets and what all your numbers are. So he said I could use this colloidal silver topically, and doesn't want me to ingest it. And so I'm still using it. And if I get a sore throat, I usually gargle with it and then spit it back out. I brush my teeth with it too. It kills cavities. Non-hydration, like this, all it is small doses of magnesium, salt, and it's kind of like Gatorade without the sugar. So I can have that. Cod liver oil, same deal. There's DHA, EPA, vitamin D, chloric acid. Instead of taking 3, I just take 1. The problem is there's some purified bile salts in this one, which, you know, could compete for liver enzymes and mess up the medication, which we don't want to do because we want the imatinib to work. I don't want to go to another medication. So we're going to say no to the cod liver. D3K2. Yes, this is a must. If your D levels are above 30, good. But if you've got cancer or you're taking an immune suppressive drug, so far I've found that you want to keep your level somewhere above 50 because there's a direct link between mortality and morbidity, death, and levels of vitamin D in your system. So you have less of a chance of dying instantly from any medication or, you know, CML or any virus, they say, if you have higher vitamin D levels. So that's a definite yes. And I do 5,000. And if I'm feeling sick, of course, I'm going 10,000. So one serving of this is 2,500 IUs and 200 micrograms of vitamin K. So I double it up on that for sure. This is B6 and ginger root. It's not too crazy. A B6, 12 milligrams. And I do that every day. It helps not be nauseous when I take my medicine. But I don't see where B6... I may have to double check that with the pharmacist the next time I talk to him, but I think we're okay with the B6. It is a little bit high on there. What do we got? Oh, here's more D3. This doesn't have the K2 in it, but, you know, 125 micrograms, 5,000 IUs per serving. So that's a yes. Vitamin C, yes. 555% of your daily allowance, no. So I wouldn't take a full dose of this. I would do probably about 150 milligrams. But the best way to get your vitamin C is from food. So I eat a lot of sauerkraut. I get from Costco. But if I do need some supplement for that, I do it. B12, he didn't say anything about B12 being bad. But again, these are supplements and they are going to be hundreds of percents above your daily intake. So be conservative. Never go over 100% your daily allowance on these because you just don't know. If it's going to compete with the medication, you want the medication to work. Some iodine. I'm going to say yeah, with moderation. Turmeric, no. You can have turmeric with your food. Like my organic Doritos have turmeric powder. But they don't want you taking crazy amounts. And of course, there's no research really for them to look at. And then, of course, there's no daily allowance percentage on here because they don't know how much you should eat a day, right? Oregano oil, same deal. It's a no-go. Zinc, it's okay, but then again in moderation. So not a full dose of that. Elderberry, echinacea, absolutely not. Aloe fusion, yeah, aloe for digestion. There's no daily allowance because we don't know. It is considered food, but this is probably more of a concentrated dose. So I would go with aloe vera juice from the store instead of a supplement. And more vitamin D, 5,000 IUs. Yes. Here's some zinc and probiotic. And this isn't horrible. 20 milligrams. So occasionally, yeah. Vitamin C and probiotics. dose. Vitamin C, take 1 capsule, 450 milligrams of vitamin C. That wouldn't be too bad. Digestive enzymes, gonna be a no. Ashwagandha, gonna be a no. And ultimate probiotics, but the problem with these ultimate probiotics is they have a herbal blend, and in the herbal blend they have turmeric root, ginger root, not so bad, fenugreek seed extract, not a good idea probably. So I already asked about these. These are my favorite. 100 billion CFUs, ancient nutrition, but until they take out that herbal blend, I can't eat them. So, or I can, like my pharmacist says, you can eat whatever you want, but you know, the medicine's not working or you're not getting any better, we're going to ask you to stop everything that you're doing, and you know, so it would be a waste of 3 months, wouldn't it? Matcha green tea, nope, not anymore. Dandelion root tea, not anymore. Beetroot tea, not anymore. Licorice tea, not anymore. And they do have some research on licorice and dandelion. So, yes, licorice tea, dandelion root, documented, kills leukemic cells. It does. But the medicine they gave me wasn't to kill the leukemic cells as much as it is to reprogram the protein 210 that's making the mutated cells. Dandelion root doesn't reprogram the P210 protein to stop making mutated cells altogether. Like, there's lots of things you can take to kill leukemic cells and keep it under control in high doses, but science has figured out how to shut down the production. So I guess science wins for now. Natural remedies, if all else fails, right? But you gotta love science. Because of science, I'm still here, and a lot of other people that typically wouldn't have been here. If you have any more questions about supplements, I did want to talk about quercetin, and I was going to ask my pharmacist again. He already said no, but I do see in the message boards where a lot of CML patients are taking quercetin, and but they've all had CML for years, and they've been on their medication for years. I'm newly starting out, so I'm still at 44% BCR ABL1 mutation level in my blood. We're going to check it in 3 months, and hopefully that's gone down with the imatinib. And then, you know, we could talk about other supplementation and what would be appropriate. For cell clearing right now, the CoQ10 is what I'm using. It's a strong antioxidant, and it's approved for use with imatinib. So again, click the link below, subscribe, like, share, and if you have any comments or questions, put them down there, and I will try my darndest to respond to as many as I can. Thank you so much for watching my video.